I think now you are clear with my second point under discussion, concept of the marginalized. Okay, now moving on to my third point, how exactly the author, the writer of this particular chapter, Amanda Michala Paulo, she is trying to place this concept of othering or other in literature, and how exactly she is trying to place it along with what is happening in media or through media right now. Okay, that is what we are trying to look into in the next session. So moving on to point number 3, literature incorporated these others with all their quirks means unusual mannerism and peculiarities into social body, or we can say into the society. Literature has adopted all these others. Okay, others means they are not part of the mainstream. Okay, if they are part of the mainstream, why should we call them as other? Okay, they are not part of the mainstream, they are not part of the conventional type of thinking, they are not part of the perfect set of people, they are not part of the normal kind of people. Okay, but literature has incorporated these others with all their quirks, all their peculiarities. Literature has adopted them into the with all their unusual mannerism into where, into the social body, or you can say into the society. And that is why these characters with all their unusual mannerism, it is like very common to us, it is available to us, it is known to us, we all know that. Okay, there is nothing new in that. We all know the story of Hamlet. We all know the story of Werther. We all know the story of Odysseus, and we all know the story of Don Quixote. So it's clear to us why literature has already done that. Hence, when literature has adopted or incorporated these peculiar characters into society or into our social thought process, you can say that the writers the writers have done a good job, a great job in that. One, you can say that the writers are in fact calling for difference and dissent. Okay, incorporation of the marginalized, the seemingly powerless and unimportant people. Okay, to write about them, it's not an easy job, it's not a simple thing. So that voice of dissent, the voice of difference is in fact clear. It has in fact been made clear by these writers. Secondly, this is a genius act. It is very clearly given in your textbook. I am just taking it out from your textbook only. Okay, it's a genius act by the writers. Okay, the act of the writers, it is a genius act to make the classics out of the powerless people. Yes, the powerless people in the lead role, or the marginalized set of people in the lead role, and making a classics out of that. It's something, a genius act. Or to make a classic by telling of the narrative of the anti-heroes, of people who lack heroic qualities. It is something really a greater job. It is a genius act. And also you can say that this difference in thought, or this voice of dissent, this genius act, it needs courage. And that courage is in fact being shown by many literary figures, or you can say many writers. And she places the question on the media of the present right now. Do they take up that particular courage to expose the pains and the sufferings of the marginalized right now? That is what Amanda Michala Paulo is in fact asking us. She says, the hero is in fact who the author chooses to be. In any literary work for that matter, the hero is in fact being decided by the author. And for that, the author needs some courage. You're getting it. So it's not about what is the society of the time is telling us, or not what is the religion is telling us, or not what the culture of that particular situation and time is telling us. No, it actually points to, it also points to the very fact that there is no permanent, perfect example or definition for a hero. Okay, anybody can be a hero. Okay, yes, so the third point was on othering. Okay, so the first part, othering, I have already discussed a second point, the second main point. The third point was on othering in literature and othering in media. Okay, and the first part of the third portion, okay, that is othering in literature, is already over, and I am moving on to the second part of point number 3. Writer says in the second last paragraph of page number 10, writer says, nothing that is human is foreign to literature. Okay, that is what the writer is telling us. Nothing that is human is foreign to literature. If it is the story of human being, it is a part of literature. So literature is not just the story of kings and queens, the warriors or the accomplished people or the successful people, not just of those people who have come victorious in war and also in love, not just the story of nobles, elites and upper class. And literature is not just about men, not just about white, not of people who are there in the first and second world, not just the people with beauty. Okay, literature is not just that. Literature is also about the story of the marginalized. It is also the story of the failed and the defeated in war and in love. It is the story of the downtrodden, the lower class and caste, of women, blacks, transgenders and Dalits, the queer, people with different sexual orientation, of tribals, also stories of the third and the fourth world. The story of the less represented should make a way in literature. And there, the third point under the section, literature is different from the media. Literature often transgress the outlines, or you can say the boundaries of the coded other, O capital other, whereas according to the writer, media does not do that. You can say media rarely does that. Simplest example that is used by the author to expose this concept is the refugee crisis, and she writes, the shipwrecked men are heroes in many classics like Odysseus, Robinson Crusoe, to Michel Tourneur's Friday. But for media, they are still a homogeneous set of people trapped in a label, a stereotyped label called refugees. And she writes, but remember, other is not just what it seems, or you can say not just as what we have perceived so far. Okay, I think I am clear. I have discussed with you 3 points and I have tried to explain those 3 points. I have summarized the entire chapter into 3 points. 1. We are discussing 4 authors, 4 different characters in this chapter. Secondly, we are discussing the concept called other through these 4 characters. Thirdly, and she is trying to tell us that media is not often representing what she could do. Okay, so with that, we will conclude our discussions on spectrum. Okay, stay at home, stay safe, take care, and God bless.